We've been talking about this whole console thing. I've talked about Xbox's position in the console business. I've talked about their position in the gaming and software deployment business because they bought four publishers. They bought Bethesda, they bought Activision, they bought Blizzard and King. I mean, Activision, Blizzard, and King came in one package deal. But with those four publishers, they're by sheer numbers going to destroy everybody else in terms of the number of games they can put out. Now, as to the quality, that's left to the consumer to determine if they want to play these games. I'm just putting out there that from a share capacity perspective, they're gonna be on top of PlayStation. Like PlayStation is not gonna be able to deliver that many games, especially with the expense and the duration of game development. This is logical and this is obvious. Just in 2024, PlayStation has padded its own window with third-party money-hatted releases that are all coming to Steam, and then potentially you'll see them on Xbox. Whereas Xbox has been bringing out its own first-party games and had to push some even to a different year. Like, it's insane the sheer number of games that are coming from this pipeline in terms of Xbox's own studios and the overall general Microsoft gaming division as a whole. To that, somebody put up a bunch of different, I guess, strawman arguments about hardware and stuff and saying that I was pretending like Xbox is making money at every venture. I've never said that. I would read the whole thing for y'all, but truly it will be a waste of your time. However, there was an ad hominem attack there that I thought was very interesting. They said being on YouTube doesn't make you smarter than anyone else. I've never claimed to be smarter. In fact, I rely on people who bring the documentation and who bring the data to be able to make my videos. I'm not smarter than you. I'm just the guy making videos in my bedroom. That's all I am. So again, I'm surprised that this is a very interesting claim that this person is making. Could it be, though, that your arguments are weak enough and you have to basically attack me? I think that's what it is. But it's okay. I'm used to this stuff. Hey, I'm a middle school teacher. See, guys, you will see this. A lot of these people on the internet, y'all are not going to last in a middle school classroom. You will pull your hair out and walk out the building. I mean, we see it all the time. That's a different topic. Let's stay on topic. It says, it just means you're on YouTube, period. Okay. Get your subs up before you start going at people in the comments. Just some advice from someone who has a successful business. Okay, thank you very much for the feedback. Now, the first thing I got to say is this. What does subscriber count have to do with the validity, the accuracy of the content? It has nothing to do with it. It's just a distraction to keep us away from looking at the evidence. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the evidence and not the subscriber count. Because if the subscriber count were of paramount importance, I would be doing a different, I'll be doing a different, YouTube content piece. This is the kind of content that's very abrasive. This is the content that made OG subscribers leave the Video Game Fight School channel. Do you guys know that? Do you know how many OG subs I have lost making this content? A lot. Like a lot of them, because they perceive the content, which is just the reality, to be me attacking PlayStation. But it's actually what's going on in the gaming industry. But many of them have been patted and pampered by the singing of praises of PlayStation for so many years. They can't understand that PlayStation would suck in any conceivable way. Now, I'm somebody who is not a brand loyalist, so it's easy for me to basically go ahead and just state this stuff. I have no interest here. My PlayStation gathereth dust, and so doth my Xbox. I'm a PC gamer. However, the gaslighting just became too much from the PlayStation fan base that I had to come in and say something. Yo, y'all have been sheltered too much, and this sheltering has got to cease so that we get to the bottom of what the gaming industry is doing right now. And I understand that this is not the kind of content that brings in subs. I don't ask for subscriber counts. Y'all realize that no longer do I say, hey, if you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. I don't do that anymore. Why? Because this is the kind of content that is about the truth. And I know how it can be. You will lose subs when you say what is actually the truth. When you're not basically tickling people's ears, it is going to be hard for people to just click subscribe. I've had people cuss me out. People pray that I never succeed on YouTube. What did I do? I said that Xbox is gaining ground in the gaming industry. That's all I said. And people wished ill on me. I have never seen anything. And me, I am so stubborn. I'm the kind of person that I would just double down. But you know what's good about this stuff is I'm not needing to double down on my own knowledge. I simply follow the data. That's it. The data speaks. And I am so thankful for my professors for teaching me this. They said, yo, stick with the evidence. That's all you got to do. And I've stuck with the evidence as much as it's been available for us. This document's from PlayStation, ladies and gentlemen. This one that leaked when Insomniac got hacked. Do y'all remember? Insomniac got hacked in 2023. A bunch of PlayStation fans buried their heads in the sand. Do y'all remember this outfit called Kind of Funny, where the guy that was on there was blamed for telling people not to talk about the Insomniac leaks when he had previously talked about Xbox's studios leaks in other videos, but said with Insomniac it was different because this guy, apparently a image of him had been put in the Spider-Man game. He was in cahoots with a lot of the PlayStation studios and a friend with them. Do y'all remember that? PlayStation has the media in its pocket, has the general talk in its pocket. So for me to come out here and speak what I say based on the evidence is countercultural. It's not what everybody is looking to hear. I'm not going to be getting big donations and stuff. And so, again, you can already tell that this is the kind of content that's going to cause a ruckus. Even grown adults coming out to basically try to insult me, telling me to get my subs up. My dude, if you and I came to YouTube together today, you would see exactly the challenge and you would know and understand that subscribers are not what YouTube is about. YouTube's about affinity. If somebody likes your content, they'll watch your videos. It doesn't matter what where you stand or whatever it is. It's a whole different place. But that's what the reality of what we're seeing is. That people will blatantly see what is real, what the evidence says, and they will just say, no, we're going to ignore the evidence because we want to stick with our shared beliefs. You will be very disappointed because reality could not be bothered about whatever it is that your shared belief is telling you. The game has changed. Xbox has one mandate: outspend PlayStation out of business, and outspend they shall. You see, I think many people don't realize a few things. You know, in this person's comment, it was very interesting. Let me give you some highlights because, you know, it was very funny. They said something about Xbox games. They said this. They said Xbox does not report, you know, their sales numbers on their video games because their games don't sell. This is what this person said while they were ranting all over the place. And I know it's willful ignorance because if you just go look at the best of Steam sales from last year, you're going to see Xbox games all over these lists. The platinum, the top, you saw Starfield. You saw Call of Duty. Call it what you want. It's what it is. You got to see even on the silver list a game like Sea of Thieves, a game that went to PlayStation after 8 years or so and sold 1 million copies. And people still pretend to be ignorant of this fact. And they come to the Video Game Fight School trying to talk about this, not paying attention to what the data is saying, or maybe ignoring the data just so that they can blurt out their own belief system. I'm not interested in belief systems. I'm not interested in subscribers, guys. I'm only interested in one thing with this channel: the truth. And I'm going to pursue it with every video that I make. Because the more a lot of people continue to do this, the more they continue to tell me that I'm on the right track. The positive comments are great. Thank you for those. But the comments to the negative, I analyze so that I can see if there are gaping holes in what I'm doing. But what I'm seeing so far is all of these people will rant and say everything against the evidence that is available to all of us. And then I go back and I look at the evidence and I'm like, what? What they're saying is not matching the data. So one of us is lying. Either the data is lying or they're lying. Because I'm just the messenger. Now, once in a while, I'll put my spin on it. But the reality is, it appears that Xbox is onto something, and the narrative being broken has forced some people into a corner where they either admit that they were wrong or misguided or misled, or they admit that they've basically changed their position. If they don't change their position, then they'll stay and double down in what they think is going on in the market. Does this mean that PlayStation is going to die? No, they're going to be fine. But they're just not going to be the same PlayStation that you know because they went very heavy-handed on trying to remove Xbox from business. So once they tried that and they moved too far, Microsoft decided that they were going to respond in kind. And not just in kind, but in a bigger kind of $70 billion and more kind. What's PlayStation going to do about that since the industry is being run with money by money for money? And Microsoft's got it and are now willing to wield it as a hammer. You can talk all you want. You see, the media has finally shut up that Xbox is doing everything bad. They stayed on that rant from 2022. And even when they announced they wanted to buy Activision Blizzard, and when they, went ahead and bought it, they rated Call of Duty as the lowest rated Call of Duty. Now they finally shut up. You know why they finally shut up? Because results usually do that. They shut detractors up, and the power dynamics has shifted. The media is based on access, right? They'll favor who can give them access to the more difficult places to be so that they can write their stories in advance of everybody else. Well, guess who's got games now, which is what the games industry is built on? Xbox. So now they're kind of chill because they don't want to say too much so they don't get blacklisted. This is why people watch YouTube. I'm not saying anything wrong, with the press people, but I'm just saying that access media is how many of them have run their outlets. So now they're going to all chill and rate things in a more objective way. You're going to see that going forward with Indiana Jones, I think, so that they don't look like idiots. It's going to be very funny to see how this stuff all plays around. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest that you desist from the personal attacks. It's not going to help. It's not going to stop me. I mean, I'm just saying, let's engage the conversation on the available evidence that we have, so that we don't keep doing this. But I mean, you know what? Why don't you just keep doing what you're doing so I can keep having these back and forths and keep making more videos about it? I mean, you know what? Help me out. Again, you know what? Let me just put it that way. Yeah, keep it up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.